All right, welcome back to another National PSI Real Estate Exam Prep. And today we're going to talk about contracts. And more specifically, we're going to talk about the option contract. So today we're going to go over 5 questions around the option contract for what we think that you're going to see on the National Real Estate Exam with explanations. So question number 1, an option to purchase binds which of these parties? And the answer is the seller. An option contract is a type of one-sided agreement where the seller agrees to sell the property at a predetermined price in the future only if the buyer chooses to purchase it. So this is a unilateral contract. Question number 2. An optionee has communicated to the optioner that the optionee will purchase the property. The option contract is now exercised and is best described as an executory bilateral purchase contract. Once the buyer notifies the seller of their intention to acquire the property, the option is exercised, resulting in the creation of a mutually binding purchase contract. The contract is executory and involves obligations from both the buyer and the seller. All right, just a quick tip. As you're going through your national real estate exam, whenever you see OR, that is always the giver. Most of the time, it's the seller. And when we see EE, that is always the receiver. And most of the time on the exam, that is the buyer. All right, so OR is giver, EE is the receiver. Question number 3. An option binds the optioner for a specific time. All right, so that is the seller. An option entails a binding obligation for the owner, referred to as the optioner, to sell the property at a predetermined price within a specific time frame. However, the optionee, the prospective buyer, is under no obligation to exercise the option and complete the purchase. The option grants no inherited right to the property for the optionee, and they are not compelled to proceed with the transaction. All right. Question number 4. A buyer signs a contract under which he is given the right to purchase a property for $130,000 anytime in the next 6 months. The buyer pays the current owner $500 at the time that the contract is signed. Which of these best describes what is happening in this scenario? It's a unilateral option contract binding the seller. The buyer possesses the future right to purchase, but they are not obligated to do so, resulting in the formation of an option contract. And question number 5. The seller has accepted monetary consideration and has agreed to sell his property for an agreed upon amount within a specified time frame. If the buyer then chooses to purchase, the contract is called an option contract. In an option contract, the seller receives option money and agrees to sell their property at a determined price within a specified time frame, contingent upon the buyer's decision to make a purchase at a later date. All right, this was 5 questions around contracts, specifically the option contract, to help you pass your PSI National Real Estate Exam. If this was helpful, give us a like and subscribe, because there will be a new video next week and every week following. See you then.